Making the CPA exam far more exciting than it was ever intended to be. Welcome back, everyone, to another action-packed edition of the Another71 podcast, episode 103. As always, I'm your humble host, Jeff Elliott, a licensed CPA in the state of Kansas by the grace of God and to the chagrin of many. Today is Monday, December 5th, 2022. Happy Monday to you. Hope all is well. If you have a question, I have an answer. Hopefully it is a good one. Email jeff@another71.com. That is jeff@another71.com. First up is Kelsey. Hi, Jeff. I'm currently using the Ninja CPA review course to study for BEC and wrote my notes using the textbook. Should I also write out the Ninja notes? I'm currently in the evaluation phase and scoring pretty low. Should I review my notes during this phase or continue through the evaluation process? I tried the Becker study course for Reg, which did not fit my study style, but I always feel overwhelmed trying to conquer this exam. I appreciate you and your program. Okay, so first question, should I also write out, taking BEC, wrote out notes using the textbook. Should I also write out the Ninja notes? So rewriting your notes is the J component of NINJA, nonstop MCQ, intense notes. No, that's not right at all. Nail the concepts, intense notes, nonstop MCQ, just rewrite your notes, and then it all comes together. So that's the just rewrite your notes. And rewriting your notes, highly recommend that you do that. And you can either rewrite your notes from, in this case, you wrote them from the Ninja book, or you can rewrite the Ninja notes. I would say probably rewrite the Ninja notes. And you already took the notes once in the book, but I think rewriting the Ninja notes, unless you took really good notes, I think that is an excellent way to study the Ninja notes. If it's in the Ninja notes, it's going to be on your exam, and I think you can get a lot more out of the Ninja notes by rewriting them versus just skimming them. So yeah, I would do that. And so you're in the evaluation phase. I would try to get before you take your exam, make sure that you get your trending score in mid-70s. Obviously, 75 is a passing score on the CPA exam. 75% in any study software that doesn't translate to a 75 on the CPA exam. That's, in my opinion, which, depending on who you ask, doesn't matter much. But certainly the AICPA certainly didn't ask me my opinion on what a 75 meant. But in my opinion, a 75 on the CPA exam is a solid B plus, A minus. That's just kind of how I feel about it. And so you need to be at least trending on the CPA exam in Ninja MCQ at least a 75 to 80, because your trending score in Ninja MCQ takes into account the last 250 questions you did, and it weights them according to the AICPA blueprint. So make sure that you're trending 75 to 80 at least. Madeline writes in, hi Jeff, thinking about restarting my CPA journey. How do I start studying for the CPA exam since it's been almost 10 months since I took an exam? I've taken and failed auditing and FAR twice each. Any suggestions if I should start with one of them or try regulation first? Normally, I recommend that people take and pass FAR first. It's the beast. It's the one that you want to get out of the way first. It's early enough to where we don't need to worry about the 2024 CPA exam. We don't need to worry about that yet. As far as prioritizing exams, let's just assume that you're going to pass completely in 2023. The reason why I say that is because auditing is going to become a bear. I would take FAR first, then auditing, then regulation, then BEC. So even in 2023, well, January through June 2023, I don't think the order matters. When you start getting into June and beyond, I would try to get auditing and BEC out of the way. That way, if you pass BEC, you don't have to worry about the discipline sections for the 2024 exam. Not going to be a huge deal, but they're going to be a deal. I don't, the TCP, the tax one, is looking pretty good relative to the IT and bar. So I would, FAR auditing, reg BEC. That's how I would do. And restarting the exam process is no different than just starting from scratch. Like, just assume that you haven't taken any and study like it's your first time, and you'll be fine. Mahmoud writes in, hello, I'm using Becker and Roger CPA. I started with Becker, but got annoyed with the MCQ and SIM options they had to offer. I bought Becker and got stressed out with all the content. I recently left my audit job and am now discouraged about the CPA exam. I know the benefits of the CPA title, but I don't have the motivation now without a job. Would it be a huge mistake to quit the CPA? If so, should I switch back to Roger CPA? The lectures are excellent, but it has MCQ that are limited in quantity. I have not even started my first CPA exam because I'm so stressed with this exam. I'm studying for BEC now. Any advice would be appreciated. Okay, so one of the advantages to studying while working is it's kind of like being in college and having a job. Like, knowing that you have other obligations should cause you to study when you have the opportunity. If you don't have anything else going on, then it's really tempting to not study, and then pretty soon not studying turns into more not studying, and then pretty soon you're on the dean's list, but the wrong one. and studying for the CPA exam and working full time kind of has the same benefit, because you're just in that flow of being busy, working, staying on task, prioritizing, making a list, being diligent with your time. Whereas if you're studying full time, it's Monday, kind of had a long weekend. I think I'll just take a break. And then pretty soon it's Thursday and you're still taking a break. And I am not a big fan of people studying full time for the CPA exam for this very reason. So, but you didn't ask about that. But so no, it would not, or yes, it would be a huge mistake for you to quit the CPA exam. Why would, no need to do that. I think really you just need to find your motivation. Maybe it means that you go work again and just kind of get back in that flow. Now, Becker CPA versus Roger CPA. I mean, if you bought both, use both. And so Roger is a very good lecturer, as you said, and Becker, they spend a lot of money on their interface. Roger CPA does as well. They're owned by UWorld. And I think in the CPA review industry, at least as providers, we get caught up in this arms race of questions. Like, we have 10,000 questions. We have 12,000 questions. We have 13,000 questions. It's like there's a certain point where you can you're getting diminishing returns on the number of questions that you add, because a CPA candidate in a 7 to 8 week study session for an exam, spending 2 minutes per question, there's a finite number of questions that you can work in 8 weeks and still keep your still keep everything proportionate. So you have your lectures, you have your notes, you have your MCQ, you have your review. Like, you can't do 8 weeks of MCQ. And so Ninja MCQ has 7,000 questions and whatever, 250 plus sims. Like, that's a lot, and that's enough. And so, like, use Becker, use Roger. Don't get use the one that you want to use the most. If it were me, I would probably say watch the Roger videos and work the Becker MCQ, or watch the Roger CPA lectures, do the Roger CPA MCQ, and do the Becker Sims, something like that. And if you can't figure out which ones you really want to use, then just get Ninja, right? With Becker and Roger, you probably don't need to do that, unless you really like the sound of my voice, and then you can get Ninja for the Ninja Audio. 90s rap references included free of charge. Suhani says, "Hey Jeff, I failed FAR and auditing with a 39. Sometimes I feel like I chose the wrong career." Well, whether or not you chose the wrong career has nothing to do with your 39 on FAR and auditing. It just probably means that you need to study differently. Yes. I mean, the CPA exam is what, 90% perspiration, 10 sprint, 10% inspiration, that whole thing. And so what it means is you need to study differently. So I don't know if you're using the Ninja framework or not. You can use it. You don't have to use Ninja CPA review to use the Ninja framework. It's nail the concepts, intense notes, nonstop MCQ, just rewrite your notes. It all comes together, and you should apply that to any course that you're using, because what it does is it creates study efficiency, and I believe study efficiency then breeds study effectiveness, because the more efficient you are then with your time, then you can also be more effective, because instead of doing stuff in weeks 7 and 8 that are redundant because you're inefficient, you can be doing things like watching a cram or rewriting your notes, which will have a material impact, I believe, on your exam. And so it doesn't say what course you're using or how you studied, what course you're using. Well, it does say what course you're using. I'm not going to name them because you scored a 39. It's not Ninja. But you need to change how you're studying. I get emails all the time from people who are like, "Hey, I studied for 3 months and I feel so stupid. Maybe the CPA exam isn't right for me." Well, no, it's because you studied for 3 months. You need to study for 7 to 8 weeks max. And if anyone ever tells you that you should study for 3 months, they are 100% wrong, 100% of the time, always. And if you need help with the Ninja framework, you can email jeff@another71.com. Don't quit. You're good. Who cares about that 39? Just start studying differently and you'll be fine. Veronica says, "Hi, I hope all is well. I failed FAR again. I want to retake it, but I don't know how long to wait to retake a CPA exam section. Also, I'm using your Ninja MCQs and materials. Any advice would be appreciated." As far as how long to wait to retake a CPA exam section, I mean, as soon as you get your failing score, it's time to jump back in. And because the longer you wait to jump back into studying, the harder it will be, because not studying is fun. Studying is not fun. You'll get addicted to the fun thing, which is not studying, which means you'll never become a CPA. So you get the failing score, pout for a weekend, whatever. Monday morning, you're on it again. The bigger question is how to retake after a failed section. And, the way to study is the Ninja framework. I'm sure there's other methods out there that people like. I believe the Ninja framework is the best. And the number one mistake people make on a retake is to think I was like a few points away. No, you're not. You are a few points away on exam day. This is however many weeks later, and you need to completely redo everything, plus do something different, plus add something to hit those weak areas. And you're weak on, it's FAR. So you're weak on governmental accounting, you're weak on bonds, you're weak on leases, and you need to drill down. You need to do everything you did to get to that score, plus drill down even more on those weak areas, and that is how you retake an exam. You're using Ninja MCQ, and so follow the Ninja framework. And if you didn't rewrite your Ninja notes last time, do it this time. And whatever your weak areas are, like take 3 topics. So as an example, I said governmental accounting, bonds, and leases. So watch a sparring session over each, or watch the cram session over each, whichever one. I mean, the sparring session is gets into the weeds a little more, but they're both Excel based. Ninja Mike does a great job, so I would do that for your retake. V writes in, "Hey Jeff, I hope all is well for you. I used Becker as my primary material and Ninja as the MCQ supplement. Here's my story. I passed FAR and started working for a Big 4 company. My FAR credit expired this year, and I can only blame it on myself. I decided to quit my job in January to study full-time. I managed to pass regulation in March. However, I received a failing score of 74 for auditing in May. This was the 3rd time I took auditing, and I was trying to figure out how to do so. So I was still trying to figure out what to do now. Sorry. My previous score was 66 and 60. So for auditing, 66, 60, 74. Like how I did that? I'm now restudying for audit and using Ninja, but only worked on MCQ, not the Sims. I have a bunch of questions, and I need your help. Number 1, should I continue to study for auditing or retake the FAR CPA exam, or switch to an entirely new section like BEC? So this is 4th time for auditing. The only time that you should not continue on with an exam that you're struggling with is just you need like a mental health break from that exam. Not from the CPA exam, but from a new exam, using a new exam. So the study method is going to be the same because you need to start from scratch. There is something to be said about using that knowledge base that you're building up for auditing, and you will lose some of that if you move on to a new section. For me, I would take auditing. I would keep with auditing. I mean, you scored a 74. And so do everything that you did to score that 74, plus watch some sparring videos over 1, 2, 3 week sections or Ninja Cram, and rewrite your Ninja notes if you didn't already. Oftentimes, like most people do not rewrite their notes. So if you fail, a good strategy is to now do what I recommend in the Ninja study framework. And rewrite your notes. Not because I have all of the answers, but I do believe that particular methodology works. So I would continue with auditing. Question 2, if I'm lucky enough to pass auditing on my next try, should I start FAR or BEC? If it's January through June of 2023, I would retake FAR. If it's June or beyond, I would retake BEC because BEC is going away in 2024. And so that will help you to not have to take the discipline sections. And also make sure you get auditing out of the way in 2023. And question 3, when I restudy FAR, should I use Becker or Ninja materials and methods? I would use both. You already have Becker and you have Ninja. You can combine both. If you need help on how to combine the two, well, I'll just tell you, I would nail the concepts with your Becker materials, take intense notes of your Becker materials, start reading the Ninja notes on day 1, start listening to the Ninja audio on day 1. So that's N-I-N, nonstop MCQ. I'd switch over to Ninja MCQ, and I would only use Ninja MCQ. Except for the Sims, I would go back to Becker for the Sims. And Ninja has plenty of Sims. Ours are good enough. Becker, being a big, huge company, they have really good Sims, and they've invested a lot of money in that infrastructure. Not that we haven't, but them, Roger, Glime, Wiley, they all have pretty robust simulation software. I think our MCQ, well, anyway, I personally think Ninja MCQ is the best test bank software out there as far as MCQs go, and our adaptive learning and training score and recon and all that. I personally think it's the best. Objectively, it's the best, but I'm also biased. So try to be objective, but I'm not independent, right? And so I would use Becker and Ninja. So NIN, so nonstop MCQ, just rewrite your notes. I would just rewrite the Ninja notes, and then it all comes together. I'd watch the Ninja Cram. Ninja Mike does a great job. I would do that. And so, yeah, I would combine Becker and Ninja using the Ninja study framework. Hope that's helpful. Nile writes in, "Hi Jeff, I've appeared for FAR 3 times to date." A lot of FAR questions today. Scored 59, 73, and 69. So went up, went back down. I followed your advice and started watching your video. I followed your advice and watched your videos regarding I failed FAR with a 73, 74. I am working hard and need to figure out where I'm going wrong. I need clarification regarding what to do now. Should I leave the CPA or continue? We've done 7 questions today, and several of them have been about quitting the CPA exam. Don't quit the CPA exam, ever. Okay, there we go. Now, so 59, 73, 69. I don't know how you studied for that 73, but based on experience, you studied differently for the 73 than you did the 69. And my guess would be that you took your foot off the gas and crammed for that 69, because oftentimes people get frustrated when they go backward with their score, and it's because they just didn't study correctly for the retake. For a retake, if you think that you're a few points away and cram, you're likely going to score worse than before, and it's very demoralizing to do that. And so that's why you're questioning whether or not you should continue, because you went backward. 59, 73, 69. And do everything that you did to get that 73 and then some. It doesn't say what review course you're using. So if you haven't done the Ninja free trial, I would do that. At least use those free Ninja notes that are included with that. And so, how to retake, Ninja study framework, and if you weren't using the Ninja study framework before, you should now. I mean, you emailed me, so that's what I recommend. And if you didn't rewrite your notes before, do that now. And it doesn't say what review course you're using. If they have any sort of cram and you didn't watch that before, do that now. If you don't have a cram, Ninja comes with a cram. definitely at least watch the free videos there. So the biggest takeaway here is, number one, don't quit the CPA exam ever. And two, when you retake, study correctly, or you're going to get very frustrated and start to think that the CPA exam isn't for you. I mean, you scored a 73 on FAR. I mean, there's people who are out there who scored a 65 on FAR or 55, or as in a previous email, a 39. They would love to have a 73. But a 73 doesn't mean that you're 2 points away. It means that you are super close and you need to start from scratch, redo everything, as painful as that is, pick your 3 worst areas, hit those really hard, rewrite your notes, and get back in there and retake that exam, and you'll be fine. All right, well, that does that for this edition of the podcast. If you have a question, email jeff@another71.com. That's jeff@another71.com. Until next time, everyone, be good, take care, and I will talk to you soon.